Hey guys, long time no see it feels like. I know a month ago I did a video of me getting ready for my friend's birthday party and also a video of my day when we got ready for my friend's birthday party and what we kind of did that day. I believe that was on a Sunday. I believe it was Mother's Day that we went to her party. So it's been a long time no see. However, you can look around me and tell that we are officially in our new house. Sorry, my kiddos are right behind me, my two cats. If you've never been on my channel before, my name is Erin from All Things Adams. This is a cruise vlog series and then home series, just a little bit of everything with crochet. Just at first we were going to do a cruise vlog series, but now it just kind of became our everyday, what we've been doing, whether it's crocheting, cruising. However, we are going on a cruise in February, so until then, we're going to start up next week, hopefully doing cruise videos about like just different little things about the cruise ships. So we are going on the Jubilee soon, so just bear with us. But like I can say, as you look around, we are no longer in our two-bedroom apartment. And this house is huge compared to our two-bedroom apartment. I will give you guys a tour soon of our house. However, right now we still have boxes everywhere and I just kind of would like to get those straightened up and put up before I actually show you guys the biggest tour of the house. So basically this video today is just going to be about what we've been up to the past couple of weeks, the past couple of months, and our experience with buying a house. Because honestly, sorry, my kitty cat wants a course in the window. So we were first-time homeowners, and so our experience was very difficult, it felt like, because I don't know if you guys are from where you guys are located. We are in Kansas, and there is a grant, I believe it's called the Hope Grant, that helps out first-time home buyers, where I believe it is if you buy a house, you have to own the house for 5 years. If you don't own the house for the 5 years, you have to pay the grant back. However, that was a long process. So essentially, we were starting a house look in March of this year. It is now June. So in March of this year, we started getting on Zillow. And first I found this house. Like this house that I'm in right now, I actually found it. I liked how big it was. I liked the space it came with. It was very open, but it was also kind of closed. And one thing about me with my house is that I really wanted something new, but I really wanted something old. I'm kind of in between. Like, I really like the new updates on houses, but I also kind of wanted an older house. I also wanted something with a pool if possible, and not like not necessarily like an in-ground pool. I just wanted something with a pool, or if anything, sorry, my kitty cat is walking by, or if anything, have a pool or have enough room that I can buy a pool and put it, in the backyard. So that was a couple of my things that I really wanted. My husband wanted at least 2 bathrooms, and I wanted at least 3 bedrooms because, believe it or not, we do have a lot of stuff, and we are trying to plan for a family. So I really wanted to make sure we had like a lot of room, and especially to grow. So I had originally found this house back in, sorry, I thought I heard something. So I had originally found this house back in March. I had hearted, it was my first house I saw on Zillow. I had hearted it. However, my husband did not want to look at it really. I mean, not that he didn't want to look at it. He was just kind of iffy with it because it only had 1 bathroom. And he wanted 2. In which I do agree, because I do have stomach issues. My husband has stomach issues. And I was like, okay, yeah, having 2 baths would be kind of nice. But I really like this house. So then we were looking at it, and we noticed that all the prices for the 1 bedroom, or the 1 bath, and then like 3 beds, and all the prices for like the 2+ baths and the 3 bedrooms or more, we noticed that they all were the same price. So this house got on sale, or went up for sale in I think it was like March 10th. And Wayne and I were like, oh, this is like our dream home, other than no pool, but I mean, it came with garage, because that's one other thing. Wayne wanted a garage. So it came with a garage, a 2-car garage. It was a 3-bed with an extra bedroom downstairs. It had 3 bathrooms, and then it had a big backyard fenced in. And I thought, okay, yeah, we'll definitely go check out this house. So we did. We got our realtor. We said, hey, we want to come check out this house. So she's like, okay, cool. When we got there, there was like, I kid you not, at least 50, it felt like, people looking at this house. And we had to do it in intervals. So we only got like 10 to 15 minutes to look at this house. And so we looked at the house, and it was me, Wayne, our realtor at first. And we were looking at the house, and we're like, oh, this is cute, you know. But I was a little iffy, and I was a little kind of lenient on it because we have a lot of big stuff. Like, we have an entertainment center that's huge, which you'll see in my next upcoming videos when I do a house tour. So we had done, like, I was just afraid that we weren't really going to, we weren't necessarily going to have enough space for all the stuff that we have previously gotten over the years. And I was kind of iffy. And then when we went into the bedrooms, I kid you not, the master bedroom was like the size of a bathroom, it felt like. Like, I told Wayne, I said, there is no way we can fit our king size bed in here and then our 2 dressers. I was like, there's just no way. And the closets were very small. There really wasn't much closet space. I was like, there is no way. Like, there is no way. Well, we went downstairs, and when we got downstairs, it was cute. It was a cute downstairs, but it wasn't a fully finished basement, I would say. Like, I mean, it was finished, but it was like very narrow. And I was like, Wayne, I was just kind of like, okay. Well, then his parents came by with our nephew, and when we got them in the house, with us in the house, it was just like everybody was on top of everybody. And I told Wayne, I was kind of iffy, like, because when we got in the car, I was like, bro, like, there is no way I can live here, because if we start having kids, or when we start having kids, we're going to be so on top of each other. Like, there's no room. We're already feeling on top of each other now in our apartment. Like, there's just, like, no way I can do this. So we decided to pass on it, because our realtor also explained to us that because she knew the woman that was selling the house. She knew the agent that was selling the house, and the agent had told her that they had already over 20 offers or something like that. So she automatically knew they weren't really going to be looking for a first-time home buyer. They weren't, you know, they've had so many, you know, offers on this house. So I had talked to Wayne, and we're like, okay, we're going to pass. So later that night, we were laying in bed, and I had told Wayne, I said, well, why don't we go ahead and look at this house that I first liked on Zillow? I was like, let's just go look at it. I was like, let's just go look at it. It's been on the market for 100 days, and I was like, maybe something's wrong with it, but, you know, because that's what my realtor said. She's like, bro, look at something that's been on the market for over 20-something days. I was like, because sometimes people just walk away from it because something's wrong with it, but it could be an easy fix that they don't know about, things like that. So she was like, just look around. And I told Wayne, I said, dude, this house has been on the market for 100 days. Let's just go look at it. Like, nothing's going to be wrong with looking at it. So he texted our realtor. We got in a group chat, and he was like, hey, why don't we go look at this house? He sent her the address. She's like, okay, you guys want to go look at it tomorrow? Well, Wayne worked, so we looked at it later that night, like the next day later that night. He came by about 7:30, and we went and looked at it. And our realtor also told us, like, when we were house shopping, that, like, you're going to walk into this house and you're going to know it's your house. Like, she's like, you're just going to automatically feel it. However, at the other house, I thought, okay, it's cute, but I wasn't feeling, like, the glow, per se, of, oh my God, this is my house. So we walked into this house that I am currently sitting in, and instantly I kind of knew. I knew instantly, like, the moment. Because, okay, I'm going to be honest. At first, I drove by it, like, a few hours beforehand, because I wanted to know, because the circus was at daycare, and I wanted to know where this house was located. Like, I wanted to know, like, okay, where is it at? And funny enough, it's actually in the same zip code that we've lived in the whole time I've lived up here in this city. So I knew the area very well. And I was like, okay. So I drove by it at first, and I was like, yeah, no. I was like, I didn't really like, as bad as it sounds, like, I was like, the neighborhood was fine. It was quiet. However, some of the neighbors, not necessarily around us, but, like, down the street, they just weren't really keeping care of their houses. And I was like, but at the same time, you know, it's not my house, not my problem, kind of thing. But it was just like, okay. And then, like, when I first drove by, part of the fence was down, and I was like, eh. And the house was blue, but I don't recall it really being blue. I recall one of the first pictures of it being white. So I was kind of like, okay, like, did they paint the house? Like, but then when I was looking through the photos again on Zillow, I noticed that it looked white in one of the photos, but it was actually blue. But Wayne was like, let's just give it a try, you know, and I'm glad we did, because right as I walked in, I loved it. Like, I was instantly attached to this house. Like, I knew, like, oh my gosh, I can see myself living here, and I just really liked it. However, I think my fear was that, like, I saw, like, part of the fence was down, and it wasn't even, like, the whole fence. It was only, like, 8 planks. But I was concerned that I was going to walk into this house and it wasn't going to be anything like what the photos were saying. Like, anything. So, I walked in and I knew instantly, like, oh my god, I love this house. It's so cute. The front living room. So, there's 2 living rooms, actually, in this house. It is a 2,000 square foot house with a half-acre backyard. And I kind of knew instantly that I really love this house. And my husband... Sorry, my kitty cat is getting on the desk because she wants to be at the window. So my husband, I was kind of iffy. Like, I was like, I really hope my husband likes this house. Like, I really hope he likes this house. And he didn't really say anything when we walked in, but I was like, bro, like, I really like this house, because like I said, it's a 2,000 square foot house. We're sitting on a half-acre. You're not gonna find this in the city for the same price as everything else. And so we were looking through it, and I found out that the front of the house was built in 1940s, like 1944. The back of the house was recently added. So the garage, what used to be the garage, is now a master bedroom, and it's huge. You could probably put like 2 to 3 bedrooms in there. What are you looking at me for? Sorry, my kitty cat is like straight up just staring at me. But, like, she's mad that I'm even talking about putting anything in that bedroom, because she loves that bedroom. But that was built last year in 2024. They had remodeled it into a bedroom. And then there's 2 living rooms. So the back living room, I believe, was built, like, right before 2020, because that's when the house had sold in auction. So we really, like, I mean, it's open, but it's not all the way open, if that makes sense. Like, when you first walk in, you don't really think you don't think it's gonna be a big house, but as you keep going through it, you're like, oh my god, this is a huge house. It comes with a dining room. And then when we went outside, we found out that we do have a pool. And there's a pool like my parents', which I'll show that later. It's an above ground pool, but it's huge, and it's metal. So it's like the older type of pools. It's not like anything you get nowadays that's like $400 and like the thick rubber. It's actual metal. So that was one thing that I really liked about the house, and kind of find out that the pool actually stayed with the house, and nice enough that the sellers actually got it up and running for us by the time we moved in, because when we first looked at the house, it was so disgusting. It looked like swamp water. I was waiting for like alligators to come out of the pool. Like, I didn't know it was in the pool. I was afraid to even stick my hand in the pool. Like, I didn't want to, and I was like, but the backyard was huge, and I was like, okay, like, I really like this house. Like, I really, really, really like this house. So we get in the car, we text our realtor, and I said, hey, can we go ahead and put in a offer? And she's like, yeah. Said, okay, cool. So that next morning, my realtor and I, Wayne had to work again because it was the weekend, but her and I came by the house again to see it in the daylight. Everything was good. She went ahead and went home that night and put in an offer for us. So what we did was we offered, because we knew we were going to talk about getting the grant. We wanted to focus on getting the grant. Oh, excuse me. So we had put in the full price offer of what he asked for. And then we also offered to pay closing costs on the house. Now, a lot of people were like, why would you do that? But however, the grant that we received through the state of Kansas, they actually paid for the down payment on the house, and they actually paid for most of the closing, most to all of it. And to be honest with you, all we had to do was bring like $250 to closing, and that was it. Like, they covered everything. So, come to find out, there was another couple that same weekend was looking at this house, and they also put in an offer. So it took 2 days to hear back from the agent of the seller, Tiny. Quiet, honey. And they ended up accepting our offer versus the Tiny. Honey, quit. Versus the other couples. And so it was a long process because we had put in everything for the grant by the end of March. However, we found out, because we were supposed to get it in April, however, we found out we weren't able to get it in April. And I kind of was getting, I'm not agitated. Oh my gosh, my cat is like pushing the thing. She is just all over the place. Tiny, honey. So I wasn't agitated. I was kind of like nervous because we were supposed to get this grant in May. We were supposed to get it in April. And when we had put in our offer, we had asked if we could do a 60-day closing instead of a 30-day closing. So that way, in case anything happened with the grant, if it was going to take longer, we would still be in the running for this house. So April came by, we found out we didn't get it in April, like the grant. And the seller was okay with doing like the 60-day closing, like no big deal. However, April, like middle of April, and I mean, it was like they wanted everything, like our bank statements, they wanted everything, paycheck stubs, our blood type, it felt like everything. So April came around, and it was like middle of April. They hadn't really said, our lender hadn't really said whether we were getting the grant or not, because essentially if we didn't get the grant, like we were basically going to be screwed of getting a house, because we were struggling with the down payment, we were struggling with like closing costs and things like that. So towards the end of April, we found out we got the grant for May. Hallelujah, because now the grant money's gone. Like, even if we wanted to do grant money this month in June, it was gone. Like, so I was like, that was our last chance to actually get it. However, we ended up getting it. Hallelujah. But then the underwriter for the grant, oh my gosh, whoever that was, y'all were giving me a heart attack. Y'all were stressing me out. Like, whoever, if you're watching this video, thank you for stressing me out. Because, I mean, they nitpicked every little thing in our bank account. They nitpicked, I mean, at this point, I was like, bro, I went to Quick Trip. I bought a large soda for $1.92. Like, do you want to know the soda? What time? Like, it was getting ridiculous. Like, they wanted to know every little thing about all of our charges, it felt like. And finally, I was like, okay. Our realtor came back and was like, hey, we're set to close on the 15th. However, we're going to have to change it to the 30th. So May 30th. And I'm thinking, okay. And I had told her, I was like, okay, the seller was fine with that. However, when we got closer to the 30th, the underwriter, like, this is how crazy the underwriter was. They had wanted the appraiser, like, they were questioning the appraisal. Like, they were questioning the appraiser for things. And on the back of the house, there is like a shed area. And at the time, there wasn't really a roof over it. And we're planning on knocking it down anyways at some point. But like this underwriter, he or she wanted, or whatever they are, they wanted a roof on there. They wanted the appraiser to come back out, all that stuff. Well, then we had contacted the agent seller and told them, hey, this is what our underwriter is saying. So the seller, thank gosh for the seller, he came out, put a roof on it real quick, just something quick and easy. My realtor came out and took photos of it, but it still didn't make the underwriter happy. And I'm just like, okay, we're literally like 3 days before closing, and at this point, I don't even know if we're going to get this house. Like, because the thing is with the grant is, in order to get the grant, you have to be under contract with the house. That is how you get the grant. You have to be under contract with the house. If you back out of a contract, or if you get out of a contract for whatever reason, you don't get the grant, from my understanding. So then he told the lender, well, I want you to come out and send photos and videos of this house. And my lender was like, bro, I can't do that. I live in Texas, and this is a Kansas house. I can't do that. I live in Texas. So luckily, our home inspector guy came out and appraised it, and everything was fine. Not necessarily appraised it, but like inspected it and turned it in. And then like a day or two before we closed, the underwriter accepted everything. We were good to go. everything. Well, come to find out, the seller's agent, I'm not going to name names, especially if you guys are in Kansas and you might have to go through him, but low-key, message me first if you are selling or buying a house, because if you are, do not go through this guy. He was terrible. He was really mean to my realtor. He was not professional at all. He took forever to respond back to. He did not get documents done like he was supposed to and send it to my realtor and all that. So literally like 3 days before closing, we had to sign stuff. The seller has to sign stuff. Our realtors together have to get things done. Well, he wasn't getting it done, and it was like, I guess for my realtor, it was like pulling teeth to get it done. However, we decided to do one last home inspection, like walk through, before we bought the house. We did it Thursday night because we closed on Friday, May 30th. We had done it Thursday night, and come to find out, because when we did the home inspector, we did the radon testing and the sewer line testing and things like that. So the radon actually came up pretty high. So we had asked, for the repair wise, we had asked him to get it fixed, to like, you know, get it going, all this stuff. And he accepted that he would do it. However, Thursday night we found out that the radon wasn't done. And my realtor, we went to a nearby Wendy's, and my realtor had called his realtor, and of course he was really mean to her. And he was basically blaming us, saying that they didn't know if we were going to close on May 30th, so they didn't want to go through all that trouble to pay for it to get it done, because it was like $2,000. So all this stuff, because at one point we thought we were going to have to push back the closing date by a couple of days. However, they were like, well, we didn't know if we were actually going to close. My seller is getting ready to back away. If you guys do not close by the 30th or on the 30th, like, he's just going to back out of the deal, and he's just going to rent out the house, all this stuff. However, at closing, they gave us the money to get the radon done, and we got that done, and everything worked out. But yeah, so that was my journey. We spent 2 months trying to get this house. 2 months trying to get this house. And I'm actually going to move you guys because my kitty cats don't mind my desk because it's still a mess. See, there's one of my cats. Guys, hey. See, they're both right there. It took like 2 months to get this house. 2 whole months to get this house. And I'm happy with it. I love it. It's definitely my dream home. I know it came with 1 bathroom, but eventually we will add on another bathroom. And like this room right now, which I will show you, is my craft area slash cat's room, I guess. My craft area, my YouTube channel area. Eventually it will be a baby's room when we do have a baby. However, our bedroom is very big, so the baby, once we do have a baby, it will be staying with us until it's old enough to be in its own room. So right now it's my craft room. As you can see behind me is my crafts, because at the apartment I literally had my craft sewing, not my sewing, but my crochet stuff. It was in a tote, literally a tote, and I would have to pull it out. However, I bought this shelf, Amazon, $40, super easy to set up. I had bought this shelf for my yarn. My clothes hamper had my shoes in it. I don't know what I'm going to use for that clothes hamper yet. Right now there's a Bluey poster in it, but I'll figure it out. And then of course my desk space where my cats are, and I'm going to make a video about that green thing right there. I got it from Regal, my Bluey area. A couple of boxes that I do need to go through, but here I will flip you around. So my craft area, there is my shelf. I bought that for $40 to $45, probably about $40 on Amazon. It holds all my yarn because I do have a business for my crochet. And it has space up at the top, which I really like. That panda bear. So as you can see, I love pandas and ducks. Those are my 2 favorites. That panda bear my husband bought me when we first started dating. We had only been dating like 5 months, and it was like for Valentine's Day, so I've kept it ever since, with my picture of me and my dog. That is Pebbles. You guys had never met her. She passed away in 2018, right before we got Circus. She had been with me since I was 16. She died when I was about 23, 24. I think I was 24 when she passed away. There is some stuff down at the bottom that I do need to get those hung up throughout the house. That's my carousel that I got when I was a baby. I always had it in my room growing up. Always had it in high school growing up. And then when I went to go clean out my parents' house of my bedroom, I had taken it with me, and that's always been with me everywhere I go. Right now I have a picture frame that's holding down my rug because I do got a new rug for the house. I will not show you fully into my closet because it looks like a pigsty. There's more stuff on my wall. I do love the Ramones. They are my favorite band. They're my number one band. My second favorite band is Blink-182, and then All American Rejects, Marilyn Monroe, because I love Marilyn Monroe. I'm a huge fan of The Office, so if you guys ever see this, that's because it's from The Office. Pam Beesly actually paints it in the show, and she has like an art show that nobody shows up to but Michael, and maybe, I think Oscar does. Oscar and his lover show up at the point, but they were like basically saying that it was hotel art. And then her boyfriend at the time, which used to be her fiance, Roy, he shows up with his brother. And then Michael ends up showing up and tells her how proud he is of her. And then, of course, Bluey. There's Tiny. And then, of course, my desk, which I need to go through because I haven't been able to do that. And then up here, I also have another thing of The Office because, like I said, that is my favorite show in the whole entire world. So, standing up point of view, I will show you guys. And this is into my living room, which I will do a house... I will do a house tour here soon, but that is another room. This is actually my husband's room. That's his office. We eventually, once we have more kids than just one, we will eventually expand and have that into another room for kids. But for now, we're making it into the offices. And then there is our bathroom, which I'll show later. But if you look in the room, they're pretty big size rooms. So this is the room that was built in obviously 1940s. Along with this side of the house that I just showed you. But yeah, so this is actually my room. This is where you'll be seeing me do a lot of my videos. So next week, stay tuned because I'm starting out doing a video soon about cruising. I don't know what I'm going to talk about though, because I feel like I've done a lot of videos on stuff to pack. I did go to Dollar Tree, so I think I'm going to make another video soon of Dollar Tree stuff that I've been recording in the Dollar Tree of different things that you can bring on a cruise. So I will be doing that, but stay tuned because I'm not. And if you guys have any suggestions on what kind of video I should do soon, let me know because I definitely will. Like I said, we're going on the Jubilee in February 14th. It's actually Valentine's Day. We are doing a cruise in with the Jubilee. So I may just do a video next week of the cruise directors that we've had so far, that I will tell you what I love about them, some things that I was kind of iffy with, just my personal opinion. However, there wasn't one that I've never not liked. Like, all of them were great, but there was like, I'll explain like which ones I liked better compared to the other ones, so just stay tuned, okay? And you haven't done so already, like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. I will start up again next week. Now that we are in the house, I will start up next week and we will go over maybe the cruise directors that we've had so far. So if that can kind of help you out when selecting a cruise, great. And then I think I'm going to do my Dollar Tree video like I talked about because I do have some recorded. I just need to get them done. So like and subscribe and then comment down below if you have anything to say. Bye.